Welcome to Mythlam, the series where we debunk Islamic myths, propaganda, and fairy tales. Today's episode features a classic, a rumor so popular it refuses to die. Jacques-Ив Кусто converted to Islam. Because according to the internet, if a famous person studies water long enough, the Quran eventually floats to the surface. Okay. According to Islamic social media lore, the story goes like this. Cousteau discovered a place where two seas meet but do not mix. Then someone showed him a Quranic verse. And then, miracle of miracles, he instantly realized Islam was true and converted. Except none of this actually happened. Dr. Zarluna Najjar is infamous for spreading claims designed to make people convert to Islam blindly. Even when credible evidence contradicts him, his propaganda keeps resurfacing online. Let's be very clear. Cousteau never said I am Muslim, never said I converted to Islam, never said the Quran is divine, never said Muhammad is a prophet. Not in interviews, not in books, not in documentaries, not in private letters, nothing. The rumor didn't even wait for his death. It was already circulating while he was alive. In 1989, during his reception at the Académie Française, Bertrand Poirot-Delpech said to him, publicly, and in front of France's intellectual elite, Vous refusez le matérialisme, c'est clair, sans avoir pour autant de spiritualisme précis à lui opposer. Vous ne vous êtes jamais converti à l'islam, comme s'en est répandu la rumeur avec la légèreté d'une époque qui colporte n'importe quoi sans chercher à savoir. Vous êtes catholique d'éducation, de cœur, et en tout cas théiste par raison. Later, when the rumor kept spreading in the 90s, the Cousteau Society itself publicly denied it. All this should have ended the discussion, but of course it never does. Cousteau was raised Catholic, and when he died, he was buried as a Christian, under a large Christian cross, as you can see from the pictures. And when there's no evidence, no statement, no confirmation, the Muslim answer becomes, he converted secretly. Yeah. The invisible conversion. Cousteau was French. France is one of the most secular countries on earth, where freedom of speech is a national sport. The French mock politicians, insult religion, protest governments, publish cartoons that make half the planet riot. And we are supposed to believe that this man, a world-famous public intellectual, was somehow afraid to say he became Muslim, or forced to hide it. Silenced by whom? The scuba police? Then the story becomes, he believed it, but never said it, never practiced it, and died Christian. If you have read Jacques Cousteau, The Sea King, you will find that in an interview, Cousteau was asked about destiny, God, and fate.
Do you believe in destiny?
No.
What about God?
If there is anything like God, it is so complex that we have no idea of what it is like. The concept of God is separate from ourselves. We have no importance to a God if there is one.
What do you rely on?
Nothing.
Don't you have some sense of faith?
No. I believe in the instant. I am going to give you a quote that has guided my life. I don't like quotes, but this one enlightens me. It's a Spanish proverb. The road to paradise is paradise.
Also, Cousteau did not believe in a benevolent, forgiving God waiting for him after death. He said,
If there is a God and he's interested in life, he's just as interested in a French poodle as in you or me.
Is this the testimony of someone secretly converting to Islam? I think we had enough of this silly propaganda. Now let's deal with the so-called scientific miracle. Muslims claim the Quran predicted the phenomenon where two seas meet but never mix, and that Cousteau discovered this and converted. The verse commonly used by Muslims is in Surah Al-Furqan, that's chapter 25, verse 53, a verse that is actually quite vague. وهو الذي مرج البحرين هذا عذب فرات وهذا ملح أجاج وجعل بينهما برزخا وحجرا محجورا. And he is the one who merges the two bodies of water, one fresh and palatable and the other salty and bitter, placing between them a barrier they cannot cross. Actually, scholars don't really agree on the definition of al-Bahrain, although it literally means two seas, knowing that the sea is naturally salty. The verse does not specify the type of water, and no location is given, no scale is defined, no physical mechanism is described, no time frame is stated. Sorry, but this is not a scientific description. It's just poetic imagery. Two bodies of water could mean many things. The text gives no restriction. So when modern apologists jump straight to this is about oceans and haloclines, that's interpretation after the fact, not revelation. And what is exactly this barzakh? Barzakh actually means a separation, a boundary, or an in-between state. In classical Islamic theology, the barzakh is often used for the state between life and resurrection. But anyway, if the barzakh were literal, the verse would anyway be false. Because in reality, fresh and salt water do mix. There is no permanent barrier. This mixing is gradual and governed by density, flow, and turbulence. So science does not confirm a barrier they cannot cross. In the contrary, it confirms they mix, but not instantly. And most importantly, this was known centuries before Islam. In Meteorologica, Aristotle explains that fresh river water, being lighter, can remain above salt water temporarily before mixing. Why does this ridiculous myth keep circulating? If Islam were self-evidently true, it would not need dead celebrities to validate it. But stories like this keep popping up because the person is famous, dead, or the evidence is non-existent. And secret conversion becomes the perfect shield against facts. Try arguing with someone who believes this lie, and suddenly it's on you to prove the person said they were not Muslim. Really? I didn't start this rumor, you did. So the burden of proof is on those who fabricated it. This is a common tactic. Instead of showing any evidence that supports their claim, they demand proof of the denial. It's circular reasoning dressed up as debate. Classic propaganda. And in Mythlam, propaganda does not survive contact with evidence. See you in the next episode. Hopefully before another celebrity is miraculously converted again.